Yes, Hickok 45 here, your internet shooting companion. Coming to you from the kind of the drab hills of Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton. Yeah, she's not too drab, is she? Yes, we're glad you're here. And it's another kind of colder day, but not horribly cold. And I brought out a beauty. Y'all recognize it, right? Hopefully many of you could tell from the thumbnail that it is a favorite of mine. It is the SAKO Model 85 Bavarian 6.5 by 55, one of my favorite rifle cartridges and one of my favorite rifles. Okay, let's get the mag out. You have to push on it. I remember the first time I had one, I couldn't get the mag out. You push the lever and you push on the mag a little bit and it pops. So I happen to have 2 magazines. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, not cheap, not cheap. Get the bolt back, I'll put that one on in there. Yeah, that's one of my prized rifles, as you know. As you know, if you've seen all the videos, the last bolt action I would ever give up, right? So I'm glad you're here, and we're moving right on through. Wow, 264. Middle of January, and like I said, I'm ahead of time on the Sunday videos because I'm doing a lot of traveling and it's a lot of cold weather, and I just wanted to take advantage of whatever nice days we have and that I'm in town and do a little shooting, invite you along, all right, so that your Sunday morning will be complete, right? Because you just don't feel smart on Sundays, do you, if you don't have a Sunday shoot around to watch. You know, just by contrast, I generally make people feel a lot smarter than they are, right? That's just the advantage of hanging around dumb people, listening to dumb people talk to you. You feel smarter, and it kind of builds up your ego and self-esteem. Yeah, that's the least I can do for you. So, yeah, man. Oh, appreciate Silencer Central for their support of the channel. You saw me with a Banish last week, didn't you? And the whole line that we bring out, the great outfit, the Bud's Gun Shop. That's why we have so many firearms we're able to show you. And then the Sonoran Desert Institute, you can learn to work on things like this and get on the road to becoming a gunsmith, learn about drone technology. They do exactly what they say they do and offer exactly what they say they offer. So check them out. I'm pretty happy to be here today, because I'm not freezing, and we've had some really cold weather, and we're going to have a lot more. So it's nice to get out and shoot a couple of firearms. Can I shoot this thing again? Okay, before I get too gabby. Also want to thank Alabama Holster for their support. The greatest little Kydex concealment holsters on planet Earth, and they happen to be in State, Alabama. Actually, they're everywhere, right? So appreciate Alabama Holster. All right, let's blow a 2-liter up. You want to? Oh, it does too. It blows it up. This might go through Clyde. I don't know. I'll take it easy on Clyde with this. This has got a little power. That's a punch. Nice feel to it, no doubt about it. 6.5 by 55. That's the chambering. It's a cute little round, very popular, and been around a long time. A long, long time, getting the job done. Ooh. Takes care of those 2 liters. Speaking of SHOT Show and NRA meetings, those sorts of things, as I have told before, the stories, lies, that's where I first discovered the SAKO Bavarian, the Model 85 like this. I told that story in these videos, of course, how I'd be at those shows, and I don't know, you know how you do at those big shows. You might pick something up to look at just because you think the wood's pretty. That's a pretty gun. that's why you're there. Look at firearms, you know. And I'll never forget shouldering that thing for the first time. I thought, whoa, why does that feel so good? Where has that been all my life? You know, because with me, particularly, so many stocks are not short or long enough, and length of pull is not right. Makes sense. If it was right for me, then none of them would be right for you normal people, right? But for some reason, this one, you know, so I don't have any extender on it, and when I shoulder it, it fits me like a glove, and the sight is in the perfect place, the comb, everything about it. It's like I had a custom rifle builder measure all aspects of me, length of pull, cheek height, jaw, whatever, and built me this rifle for $100,000. It would fit me perfectly, you know. Right off the shelf, though, this thing seems to be that good for me, which means it might not feel right for you. But anyway, I would shoulder them. I did that for, wow, several years, I guess, at NRA meetings and in SHOT shows. Because that's a lot of gun shows, you don't see everything, right? Even a big gun show, you might not run into a SAKO Model 85 Bavarian, whatever. But at a show like the SHOT show or the NRA meeting, basically everything is there. You know, that's why I like going to those, and I always have. I like going to them. So that's where it got planted in my brain there, the mental. Oh wow, you know, and I would see it over and over, and finally, I just ordered. I think first thing I did was order one, borrowed one, to just do a video on. I think that one might have been a 270. I don't remember now. Maybe we did a time or two, just to verify that I liked it as much as I thought I did. And you know, in terms of actually firing it and everything, because they were not cheap. And then when I did confirm that I liked this, I bought one. I forked over the bucks. Made in Finland. Caliber 6.5 by 55. Made in Finland. Yeah. Warning. Read manual. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. Yeah, that's a dandy. That is a dandy. What you want? I don't know anything to tell you. I'm just not going to tell you anything this week. Now, again, don't forget the other channel, the clips and the shoots channel. Those are clips. Both of those channels are clips, just different types of clips. And the talks channel, I've posted a few new talks over there. I don't know how many I'll do this winter. I'm thinking of maybe, you might have seen some already that I don't even know you've seen. I don't even know I've posted, perhaps, but in my travels this month, I may do a couple, you know, post them. Maybe since the Sunday videos during January may not be as timely, maybe I'll do a talks that will be timely. Who knows? Just depends. Just depends. But look what else I brought out. I brung out a big, ugly Glock. Yes, big, ugly Glock. Oh man, you know what it is, don't you? It's a Glock 40. No, not because I've been in Chicago on the south side. This is the Model 40, and it is chambered in what? Yeah, you passed the quiz, Ralph. 10 millimeter. This is another one I've not fired in a while. Let's see if it still shoots. What do I have in that? I put, yeah, underwood. Okay, got some underwood in it. All right. Let's shoot something over here. The cowboy. Try Clyde. Still works. Still works. Let's shoot Alabama holster there. You want to? Let's shoot Talon grips. Since it has Talon grips on it, it has barrel stall on it. Let's shoot that. All right, let's shoot the bullseye too. Let's shoot silencer central, even though it's not quiet. All right. Got that hog. Got that old hog. Yeah, boy. That's a hoss. It is a really likable handgun. I remember when we did the first video on one of these, and I thought, oh man, it was like comical almost to me for some reason in size, the length of that slide, and it just felt kind of front heavy and all that kind of thing. It just wasn't, I hadn't handled a 17L for a long time or something. But I don't know, I picked one up somewhere. And again later, and I don't know, it's not, and I read about some people that really like it for being out in the woods or in Alaska or wherever, and I don't know, I got to thinking about it and thinking about some of the other big revolvers I have. I said, well, what's the difference? I don't need to be comparing this with a Glock 19, duh, or a whatever, any other SIG or anything in a normal size, handgun. This really is kind of like a Model 29 or something, like a gun you'd have in your chest holster in bear country, a bigger gun. And if you wanted a 10 millimeter, for example, if you're going to carry a Glock 20, for bear defense, just in case, not to hunt bears, but in defense, in a chest holster or even a belt holster, well, nothing wrong with carrying this. A little more punch, absorbs your recoil, and they work well. That sight radius is great. It's a beast. I like it more and more. The more I own it, and the more I shoot it. Again, it's a Glock Model 40 for new people. 2 guns, new to me, new to the world. It's the Model 40, but it's in 10 millimeter. So, yeah, the Glock 40, Gen 4. This one is. Do they have this out in the Gen 5? I don't know. All right, let's take a shot. Have we hit the gong with it? Gets there pretty fast, doesn't it? Yeah. Pretty fast. What about a Clyde? Did I hit you? I had my ears in too tight to hear it, or I might have just missed. You notice how it really moves that steel around. So yeah, that is a jewel. It really is quite a jewel, man. I like that. I like that. Can I load the SAKO? I'm trying to say it right. I know it's SAKO. Everybody in the world has said SAKO. My growing up, as I've talked about, so it's hard to change, but it really is SAKO. Some people who have been in the know their whole lives, maybe their parents had a SAKO rifle and they called it a SAKO, then they're used to the proper pronunciation. Yes, but not me. And a lot of people still call it SAKO in this country, no doubt about that. But it all goes back to some extent. That same old Garin or Garin, carbine or carbine. Carabiner or carabiner. I used to do a lot of mountain climbing. I always called it a carabiner, but it's a carabiner. I don't know. Is it a carbine? Is it a carbine? All right. Is it a magazine, or is it a magazine? Magazine. I used to do it with my students, mess with them, just kind of emphasizing how the syllable you put the stress on in a word kind of makes the word, doesn't it? It would take different words, common words, and with 2 or 3 syllables, and just change it. And I said, okay, now put the stress on the second syllable, like a word like automobile or something, and put the stress on the second syllable, and let's hear you say it. And they'd have real trouble doing that. Anybody does. Automobile. It's an automobile. Well, it's an automobile. Automobile. It's an automobile. You know, you start messing around with the stress, and you realize the only difference is you're changing where you put the stress. You know, but I don't know how I got off on all that. But anyway, the way you've learned to say something your whole life is difficult to change that, isn't it? All right. And it's why people have difficulty just correcting grammar, you know, even really flagrant errors or issues. If you've grown up where everybody you know said, you know, I've went fishing or whatever it is, instead of I've gone fishing, you know, then you're going to say I've went fishing. I have went fishing. You're going to have a hard time getting that past participle out, aren't you? Yeah. But doesn't mean you're a felon. Doesn't mean you're a criminal, right? Well, you could be a felon using bad grammar. You could be a criminal using bad grammar too, but using bad grammar does not make you a criminal in and of itself, right? All right. I'm sure I've used a bad grammar here and there once or twice, usually on purpose, just to make fun of myself. All right. Yeah, man, buffalo hunter. Yeah, I love the way that thing ejects. Boy, it throws them out there. This is one of the sweetest feeling rifles. I say that every time I bring it out, I know. But it's the truth. Clyde, well, better not shoot Clyde. Top of that, it's hard to miss with. Yeah, no wonder it's my last rifle I'd ever give up. I like it. Can I load this 10 millimeter once again? Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the Shoots channel. Oh, you should, like John says in the introduction to it. You know, for people who don't like all the talking, you know, just want some shooting. That's why he's doing it. And again, John's doing it. That's his project. It's great. I'm glad he's doing it. He puts a lot of work in on those two channels. He's pulling clips off, going back, looking through, and everything. So, and you know, as I've said before, it brings back to life a lot of videos we've done that a lot of people, including many of you, have not seen. You know, I mean, that's tragic. That's tragic. I've stood with a camera on my pretty face, held some pretty guns and fired them, and you haven't even seen it. Guarantee you. You haven't seen all of them. Yeah, that's sad. That's really sad. Could depress me if I think about that too much. No, really. I mean, it is good to get that stuff back out and churn it, and people haven't seen. Takes them to the videos that they've never seen, even if they follow links to it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Again, don't have to watch it. But I'm glad he's doing that. All right. Yeah, let's shoot this thing again. Was that, oh, I was going to put some Steinle in there. I think I got Underwood in again. All right. Yeah, what a monstrosity. Don't you hate a Glock? A lot of people do. This one's cut out, you know, for the optic. And it does have adjustable sights. Got those funky adjustable sights on it. I put the beaver tail on this one. Again, I don't normally put that on. But it's, I mean, it's a big old gun. So it just doesn't matter. You know, what's another half or 3/4 of an inch sticking out there? Yeah. It's a bit of a monstrosity. But I don't know, it feels pretty good. This has got a pretty good trigger too. I don't, you know, it'd be a tough call if you sent me to Alaska and I was going to be out, whatever, camping or fishing, and I just need to carry a handgun for defense. I'm not hunting bears or anything. And you said you got to take a 10. Okay. Well, do I take my Glock 20? Actually my FN I like a lot too. My FN 10 millimeter. What is it? 510? Forget the number on it almost. Or this. I think if I'm in a chest holster, you know, I just soon have this. I guess. It's kind of a why not? Maybe. I don't know. A little heavier. maybe than the Glock 20. Okay, let's shoot this thing. All right. Do I have any advice for young people before I empty this? You know, one thing I was going to remind young people of is with all the craziness going on, you know, over the past weeks, the attacks, you know, different things. If you're a young person, if you're an old person, hopefully you're not someone who is prone to just curling up in a ball and hiding from the world, you know, afraid to go out after watching the news and that sort of thing. Young people especially, try to keep in mind, even as horrible as something might be that some evil human does, it's probably not right outside your door. It's probably not anywhere you're going today, this week, this year, your whole life maybe. You know, it's almost like, even though it's horrible and it could happen anywhere, it's a little bit, try to think about it as, hopefully it doesn't get more prevalent, but like think of it as like lightning strike or an airplane going down or something like that. Those things can be really terrible if you're in the path, right? Or you're the victim of one of those. It's horrible. But the odds of it affecting you individually, personally, is extremely long. You know, the odds is just not going to ever touch you or me. I mean, it could, but it's extremely unlikely. Okay. Again, think about that airplane. The car, you're way more likely to be hurt in a car wreck, killed in a car wreck. You know, no doubt about that. The most dangerous thing we do, any of us. Yeah. If you think these could be dangerous, no, I got control over this. I got control over my car, but I don't have control over the other 1,000 idiots that I pass on the road. You know, they're up alongside me, coming up behind me, in front of me, and coming across the intersection. You know, I have no control over them. What mood they're in, how experienced they are at driving, how drunk they are, you know, how mad they are at the world, how observant they are. You know, I have no control over them. Whether or not they regularly break speed limits by 100% or anything. I have no control over that, you know. So that's the most dangerous thing that we do, is step inside an automobile. Yeah. All right. Anyway, if that means anything, young people, probably doesn't. All right. Let's shoot something here before I make you leave. Nice old propane tank. I love that guy. You too, cowboy, and you too, Clyde. I love you so much, I give you 10 millimeters. He's empty. All right, pretty nice, pretty nice. So, appreciate everybody helps us. Talon grips, there they are. Ballistol, I'll clean her up, spray a little down there, and I'll clean her up better after a while. Even though Glock could probably go unclean for a long time and still function just fine, but I like to keep them clean. I really do. It just makes me feel better if I know that firearm is sitting in a safe and it's clean. For one thing, when you have as many firearms as I do, and many of you have a lot of firearms too, I'm randomly getting them out, whatever in the mood to shoot or whatever. It would be hard for me to keep up with them if I just, I don't know, if I always had 6 or 8 or 13 of them that I hadn't cleaned yet. I would have to be more organized. I'd have to keep a list. Really, cleaned, uncleaned, or whatever, and keep track of that, which I could. There's no reason to. I just go ahead and clean them. The day I shoot, maybe the next morning. That's the way I do that. And either way, I soak it down that after I shoot it. The only exception is if I know I'm going to be firing it again the next day or something. Maybe the whole week. I know maybe we're doing videos and we're doing something today, shooting it, or I'm sighting it in, or whatever. We're going to do a video in 3 days or 2 days, I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe I don't clean it then, okay? But with my firearms, generally I clean them after I use them. And it's a good practice, I think. So, not that I always do the smartest thing. I really can't claim that. Sounds good, doesn't it? That I do the smart thing? Yeah, I guess everybody thinks they do the smartest thing, right? We're all convinced we are the smart one. Well, that's okay, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. It's it's those people that think they have all the answers, and that if you don't agree with them, they might want to or need to eliminate you, right? We see a little bit of that around. If you don't believe the way they believe, you have no reason to live, so, but that could be rather dangerous. But by and large, everybody has their own opinions, and they can, do what they want to do. I'm good with that, as long as you ain't hurting me by it, It don't even make me mad. I don't even care. There's a few billion people on the planet, and everybody's going to think a little bit differently. Let them do it. Let them do it. It's a sort of a free country, and it's well, it's not as much a free world, but it's sort of a free country here in the United States. Most states. So I'm going to let you go. I'm starting to ramble. So appreciate all the support, and don't forget to check us out on Rumble. Everything's on Rumble. I'm not sure why some people are having trouble finding it, but it's all over there. Hickok 45 channel, and on YouTube. So I just remembered, what did I do? I knocked it off with a piece of brass, didn't it? It hit the battle stalk, knocked it off. Pretty funny. I won't spray it down yet. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm so happy to have a couple of nice days here to do some shooting. Like I said, in January, I don't know, I'm not as timely. It might be a couple of weeks since I filmed this, right, that you're seeing it, or a week, or I don't know, but in January. So I will see y'all next week, and in the meantime, make sure you behave yourselves. I've noticed, because I do monitor a lot of you, that some of you are not behaving yourselves very well. Let's see if you can do something about that. Life is good.